welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. Alright guys, so I'm following up to the video that I did yesterday regarding Verizon. You know, how Verizon feels different, to me at least, and I'm sure many of you. And that's because Verizon is different today than it was yesterday or the day before, because Verizon keeps changing. Now with this new article, many people are, giving their view on it and reporting it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to voice my opinion on this situation. Here's where I stand with this. So, Verizon originally is known for a company that's reliable, dependable, right? It's an American company. It's for the people, right? A lot of businesses depend on Verizon service. They're huge in big city areas such as New York City, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, right? A lot of major cities with a lot of businesses, corporate settings, a lot of customers, a lot of people, tourists, events. Verizon's used for a lot of big events, okay? It's a service that people trust. Now, Verizon's not that old, okay? Verizon is not as old as AT&T, but Verizon came and it lit a spark, okay? They did wireless, they have fiber internet, and we as consumers on the personal side and business side are enjoying Verizon service, or were enjoying Verizon service. We use their internet, we use their wireless because we trust it, we like it, right? The plans were, reasonable depending on your view, right? I mean, a little pricey, but with that price, you got good service. You got good wireless connection, right? In many places, Verizon was the wireless carrier that worked pretty much everywhere. Even on one bar, you could make a call, or you could get on the web and just check an email or something. Just one bar was strong enough to connect. And some other carriers like Sprint at the time and T-Mobile, you had to have 3 bars, and even then sometimes you couldn't connect because the tower just wasn't able to match what Verizon's towers were able to do, right? And Verizon had this big customer service center and American reps, and Verizon felt like the people's American cell phone company, right? Verizon was one of those companies. Verizon was an American company for the people, right? Like I said, many businesses leaned on it and enjoyed it, and that's going to change now. And that's going to change because if Verizon moves forward and takes away their American customer service reps, now I understand it's not going to be all. I believe it's not going to be all. And they're supposed to give some choices and like rehire some of them back, and this whole thing going on. But if Verizon does away with American customer service, okay, and does ship them overseas to cut costs, which is their ultimate plan, right? To cut costs, outsource customer service, not have customer service reps in America. Let me ask you something. As a postpaid customer, paying $90 a month to stay with Verizon, especially now when the service isn't what it used to be. Okay, it's not. Many of you know once they got rid of 3G, you're experiencing issues with connectivity, okay? Because that was one thing that they had that was working for them. Remember when I said earlier in this video that 1 bar of service? That was 3G a lot of the times, getting you to make that call, okay? You were able to jump on and make that call, all right? So things are changing with Verizon, right? Service-wise. They've been changing for a couple of years now. Many people have experienced that. Obviously, if you're in a major city, you're going to still feel like it's Verizon, right? It's going to work because it's out in the open. There's towers everywhere. There's, so it's working, right? There's cell sites everywhere. But what about that classic Verizon that when you were upstate somewhere and in the woods and, you used to get that one bar service that would allow you to make a call? Many people are not experiencing that anymore. It's changed. You're getting dead spots now, right? So now so you have that, and then the change of the customer service reps being outsourced. If you're an American company, you're a business, and you have 200 employees that you're on your Verizon plan, right? And one of them has a problem, or you have a problem with one of their lines, and you can't get a rep, a rep that understands what needs to be done, they're gonna try to help, but they may not get it. And if that's the case, you're paying all that money. Are you gonna want to stay with them? And what's to separate, at this point, what is to separate Verizon from Visible? Why even have Verizon anymore? If you're gonna lose your customer service, why would you pay $90 or more a month for plans? Why not jump on Visible and just hit up the chat? Hit up the chat. At least the people on the chat are most likely going to understand what you're asking them. There's not going to be any barriers there or any issues, and that's just like looking at it as a consumer and as a business owner that depends on Verizon, right? So now what about an investor? What about people that invest in Verizon's shares? How do you think they're looking at Verizon right now? Turning their back on basically their roots at this point. What they did best was offering good American customer service, good wireless service, right? Too many changes, too fast. I understand the need for it, I guess, to save money and cut costs. They must be struggling financially, but there's gotta be better ways, There's gotta be better ways. I don't know. This isn't good. Not good. Outsourcing is not good. Especially you can't start as an American company with customer service and then change that. People are just not going to have it. Not at their prices. Not at those prices. That's one of the reasons why people jump on postpaid, for that customer interaction, that experience, to have what they feel like is a quality phone plan. Because then why not just jump on any prepaid plan, and no credit checks and no nothing. You don't have to deal with none of it. You have a problem, you send them an email, or maybe they have a chat if you're lucky. Most of them don't. Mostly it's an email, but you'll get a reply maybe a day or two later. Most of the time, it's not that big of a deal. If it is, you just gotta wait. That's the prepaid life, You don't pay a lot for those prepaid plans. Some of them are $25, $30, and that's what it is. That's the cost. You bit the cost because you didn't go on an expensive postpaid plan with, Verizon or T-Mobile or at&t. And those are the rules. We know the rules, right? But now you're going to charge, postpaid plans. You're going to charge postpaid prices, but yet you're not getting postpaid service anymore. It's different. It's watered down. Prices are still high, but your service is different. So, yeah, that's not going to sit well with many people. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're thinking, yeah, why am I going to pay all this money? Why not just jump on Visible at this point? Really? What's the whole point of this? Like, why even have Verizon anymore? Visible is just looking better and better every day. So I don't know what the end game here is. That's what I keep asking myself, like, what is really their end game? I know they're trying to cut costs, but watering down the service, you're gonna lose. So basically everything they're trying to do is just going to backfire. And rather than making a profit in this situation, they're going to lose money. I guarantee it. They're going to lose more customers than they're going to probably save routing customer service reps overseas. Because if people get really sick of all the changes, they're going to run away, you know? And what are they really going to get? Who's going to come back? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think the plan is just going to backfire. I don't know. Maybe it will work. I don't know. Maybe if people get desperate enough for Verizon service, they'll be able to pull it off. But the customer service rating is going to tank further. And I don't think it's going to work. I think this plan will backfire. Definitely. Because if you're someone that wants Verizon service because you're signing up based on what they were, on the history, what they were known for, you're going to be disappointed with all these new changes, without a doubt. So that's what I think. That's how I feel. You know, let me know in the comments what you think. You know, am I right? Am I wrong? I don't have it all figured out. I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. I don't have every detail. I don't have any insider information. This is just pure observation and just like using some basic logic as to like how it should be and how it's not. And you know, really, what's the point of Verizon at this point? If they're just going to act like a prepaid plan, why not just jump on a prepaid plan? You know, that's just me. But all right, guys, be sure to like this video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.